guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a guest and my husband is making a menorah. So let's please watch this video guys, because you will learn a lot how to make a menorah. Please watch this.
Okay, this is the menorah that we're going to try to make. Not quite. We're doing a 7-branch temple tabernacle menorah. And these are my dimensions that I'm planning on doing the arcs at. 36-inch total width, then the next one 24 and 12. And finally, these are the segments. Since I'm cutting this into 3 different segments here, that should be the right amount for this part. Once we get that, we'll take a look at it and try the T-lar method. That looks about right method. If it doesn't look quite right, we'll cut it a little shorter here and that type of thing. 9.42 inches. So we're going to guesstimate this part. So 9.42, so that's 9.5. So 9.4 is about in there. So I'll cut one there if I don't mess this up. Okay. All right, let's get another one. I like this cutter from, it's made by Pittsburgh at the Harbor Freight Tools. So it's inexpensive and it really does a good job. It's highly rated by me. Better than my other one. This section is going to be, so that last one was 6 segments to make the 2 lower branches, 3 segments for each one. This is going to be 6.3. Okay, so that should be 6 of each section. So it'll be the lower branch, the middle branch, and the upper branch for this. Okay, so I'm using the 45s. See, 45, and put it on here. Got another 45. And line it up, more or less. This is just the rough work right now. Got another 45, because there's 3 45s on these things. Okay, so that's going to be one arm that's going to go out. Right, and now the smaller ones. More of a jigsaw puzzle. Craft work. Not really that big of a deal for any engineering per se. I was messing up. I was putting an extra bend where it didn't need to be. It's actually the 45s go here. Because the ends of these are going to be a little different. So it's going to stand up like this for each arm. The littler one inside the bigger one, like that, and I can't hold the third one up. And there should be about 6 inches from each of those. All right, so that's that part. And the T that's going to hold the main part together. So there we have one branch. Then we have another branch. Okay, so that's one branch. Leave that there. Stick the next smaller branch up here. into the T. That's going to go above that one. That's the next branch for that. You can see that there's going to need to be spacers here to raise it up to line up the tops of each one of these. But we'll get that another time in the next segment. This is the Menorah. Then I ended up using 2 3/4 inch segments to make it fit. I basically held it upside down like this and measured what I needed to make them line up for these segments, and added a quarter of an, was it a half an inch? Anyway, quarter inch, half an inch to each side to make it long enough so when it went together it would be menorah shaped. Then we will need to put a stand on it in the next part. Okay, you've seen us cut up the parts, and now this is the completed project. What we did was we took all those little parts and connected them together with all these little parts, just sliding them in. Well, it's pretty tight right now, but just sliding them in. At this point, it's not actually glued together. I can take it apart if I want. But here is the menorah. It's instead of being 36 inches, it's turned out to be like 40 inches wide because of the extra pieces here that got added into it from the arc curve calculations and such. And then we assembled it outside, or I assembled it outside, and then spray painted it with metallic gold paint up here, and down on the bottom the stand I painted with flat black paint to make it disappear, and put it together. It's designed so that right here solar lamps can get slid in. The solar stakes that you can buy at the dollar store for, well, Dollar Tree for $1.25 now, I guess, as you'll see in the picture. And so this is the completed work. It looks pretty nice. I'm going to have to paint it some more, and I'm actually planning to add wiring to it and put full-size lights on this thing to make it more permanent in the future. Hold on one second.
Start.
I bought these sometimes back on that Wish thing. I wished they didn't show up, but they did show up. and so I have them. But they're cheap little light fixtures, light sockets. And they're so small and such, I determined that if I put a cap on the top of these, a connector cap, this will fit perfectly up here once I cut out this base, and I can wire it directly through this to the ground. So that's the goal in good time. These on Wish about a year or two ago. I wished they hadn't shown up, but they did. And so now I have them. They're pretty cheap. I intend to cut out the inside from the outside. And I found that if I use the connector fitting on the top here with this, it fits just absolutely perfectly. I can glue that on here to make a perfectly glued on regular standard size 26-27 inch light bulb to go in here. And I plan to wire the whole thing for regular house current eventually. Right now, it works with solar just fine.